Hey y'all, we are back again with another podcast, wanting to make sure that, listen, we kill chaos, right? That we're going to have a little less chaos in our week this week. And I am super excited to be here today. I'm also a little sad because I'm going back into the office today. I know. So I am learning how to adjust to that. But anyway, listen. We're going to have our fun today as usual. We're going to break down the 5 things. Is it 5 or 4? It's the 4 things that we do every day. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I do this every week. And I'm like, is it 5 or 4? Anyway, we are here. Super excited, but then also it's kind of a cool day because it's the last Monday of the month. So we're also going to be talking about our monthly review. So listen, let's get into it today. We're going to be talking about that good thing that we did and we got to do last week. We're going to be talking about what's on the docket, and we're going to be talking about our intentional topic of the week, which is learning how to kill chaos with our monthly reviews. Okay, so listen, y'all, man, yeah, I'm going back to work, to the office, because I've been working. Okay. All right. But let's get into the good things first. Couple of good things happened last week, and I am very, very, very happy about them. Let me tell you. So, my sweet niece, of course, I pick a pen that does not work. I'm writing my notes, and of course it doesn't work, right? But my sweet niece turned 7 yesterday, and we got to celebrate her on her birth, well, not on her birthday, but we got to celebrate her the day before with a big old family party, and it was amazing. I always love when I get to hang out with all of my family members and just be able to talk with them and enjoy them. So it's super happy time. And also, my niece is 7. Like, my genius niece who's already reading chapter books is 7. That's so amazing. I might be a little biased as an auntie, but whatever. And then a couple other good things that happened for me was that, one, I got to spend the whole day out with my friends. We went to a winery on last Monday. We just talked and enjoyed life. And that is one of the key things that I really think is important in intentional living, because it's not just checking off things and getting things done, but it's actually living your life by your values and making sure that you make time for those things that are important. And then on top of all of that, I got to hang out with another cousin of mine. He bought a house recently and he invited me over. And it's so cool talking to like your cousins as adults when they were like much younger than you growing up. So it was just really a good time, and I tell you, it was exactly what I needed this whole entire week. Okay, so what are the good things that happened to you last week? Remember, looking at what happened before and focusing on what is good builds resiliency. And that's why we do this every single week. We are learning how to build resiliency in our lives. We're learning how to be intentional and not wallow in things that may not have gone like we wanted to, right? Being able to focus and find the good in our lives whenever things happen is what will help us push forward when things are not that good. Okay? All right. So remember, what are the good things? And if you're catching this on a replay, tell me in the comments below, what are some good things that happened to you this weekend? What are some good things that happened this past week? Because the more that you can focus on it, the better it will be for you in your life. I'm telling you, when you learn how to focus on the good, it transforms your life. It really does. So that is the good things. I'm actually just checking to make sure I'm actually live, okay? Because sometimes it be telling me that I'm live and then I'm not. Oh, see, look, am I live? I can't tell. I don't know, but it is recording. So if I'm not live, I'm gonna post this right afterwards. So anyway, guys, all right. So what is next? The next thing is what is on the docket. Listen, y'all, I get so excited about the week to come because even when it's hard, it's always good to be able to evaluate your week ahead of time so it won't be that hard, okay? So it won't be that crazy to deal with. So for me, what's on the docket? Honestly, yes, I have lots of different goals. I have lots of different things that I am dealing with, that I'm working with. But honestly, my goal is to survive my first day or first week working in the office 5 days a week. Now, I know many people probably already work in the office, but for me, this is a big change, and it was an abrupt change. I've been talking about this on my social media, but I am a federal worker and I get to do some amazing work for the federal government. And my hope and prayer is that I'll continue to do that because we don't know in this season. But we got the announcement that we were going to be going back last week. We knew, but it wasn't clear until we got that individual letter saying, "Hey, you're coming back Monday." So so I had to make some really major adjustments, and I've been talking about that in my on my social media and stuff like that, like figuring out how to balance what's important to me, my values, what's important in the plans and the things that I've already been doing, balancing that with the changes that are bound to happen with me having to contend with traffic now, having to be in the office now, right? So just talking about that and talking about the journey in my mind, and then also practically to do that. So for me, what's on the docket? Getting through the week. I also want to continue writing. So I've been, talking about it off and on, but I had a devotional that I wrote 2 years now. Would be probably three. I get, oh my gosh, it'll be like 3 years or four. I don't remember. In July, but I was planning to write a new devotional, and I'm not gonna lie, I have been struggling to write it. And so I had a goal to write 2 devotionals a week, and I actually did those 2 devotionals last week, and I am proud of myself. Okay, let me tell you. But so I'm really really excited about that, and I do have that back on the docket this week, and we're gonna see if it gets done, right? Because again, I don't know what the week is going to present to me, right? I don't know how crazy it is gonna be to go back and forth with traffic. I don't know how it's gonna be in the office, right? So, but what I do know is that I can plan ahead and I can actually try to structure my life around what I know. And that's going to be the fun part of this journey, right? Figuring out what the new normal is after 5 years of being remote, and then even more time having telework, right? Like I did not go to the office every day for a very long time. So this is going to be interesting. All right. So we got through our docket. We moved through the good things. And now we are coming up on the intentional topic of the week. Now, listen, we are at the last Monday of the month. I cannot believe it. February, even though I know it's 28 days, 20, yeah, 20, I know it's 28 days, y'all. Even though I know it's 28 days, it always surprises me how quickly February goes by. So today is the fourth Monday of the month, and this is the Monday that we review our month. One of the key things in intentional living is that we are always evaluating, always reviewing, and making sure that how our life is being run still aligns with our values. And then if our values still align with the life that we have, right? That's kind of like the key to intentional living, honestly. It's not about being rigid, it's not about having it your way or the only way, but it's about one, knowing what's important to you, right? And those 6 key areas. I'm always talking about the 6 key areas of our life, the 6 key relationships that we should be focusing on. But then being able to adjust when life inevitably throws us a monkey wrench, right? We know that we have desires and plans and goals in our life, but we don't know what's going to happen. I think there's a verse, I believe, that says time and chance happens to everyone, right? Or it rains on the just and the unjust the same. Just saying, like, you don't know what's going to happen day to day, but what you do know is what is important to you. And you do know that you can take time to evaluate your life to make sure that what is important to you gets done, right? So, one way to do that is to have regular time to review. That's why we do this weekly podcast, because this is a moment for you to stop and review and look and see what your day and what your week is going to look like. But then we have monthly reviews, right? Where we're looking at the whole month as a whole. What happened? Did we do well? Did we do what we wanted to do? Do we need to adjust our goals? Do we need to adjust our lives to fit in with how we're doing and our values, right? And this monthly review has 4 steps to it, 4 things that you do. One thing, you know what? I almost forgot. There is a really good quote or really good saying that this thought leader has said, John Maxwell, and he says that experience is not what makes life better, right? It's evaluated life experience. So it's the life experience that you evaluate that's going to grow you, that's going to transform you, that's going to heal you, right? Because you're taking a moment to look at what you experience and not just experience it. Okay. So, I was actually thinking about that and like reading my devotional, and I have a devotional in there talking about what's the plan. And taking charge of your life, being intentional is what God wants. I used to be a person that always would be like, if it be God's will, or I would just pray and hope that things would change. But I realized that God wants us to be a part of that change. God wants to partner with us in our lives. And it hit me when I read this verse, and it's this is from my devotional, and it's what's the plan, is at the back in the 3rd section, and it says, a man's mind plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps and makes them sure. And I was kind of thinking about that verse, like, okay, so God directs my steps. Yeah, he does, but he still said that man plans the way, right? It's not only that we just let God do what he's going to do, because he's going to do a good job of what he does, but it's giving God something to direct, right? Giving him something to actually set forward. I was thinking about this earlier. I said, you know, yes, God does have a great and mighty plan for you. But thinking about that verse even more is that he says that man makes plans. So it's our job to actually make a plan and give it to him, right? And say, Lord, this is what I planned. And now he's going to say, all right, you know what? That's cool, but maybe you should do this at this point, or maybe you should go here, or maybe you should shift what you're going to do or who you're talking to about that, right? That is the key thing about intentional living. It's knowing that God has placed desires in your heart, right? For a good purpose. He wants you to do something amazing. He says that he has given us good works to do, right? But he didn't just say, here, let me build you, and then you run off. No, it's, hey, I placed these cool things in you. I want you to go ahead and make plans, but have your hands open to be able to, what's the word I want? Have your hands open to however God wants to shape it. Okay. So I don't even know how I got on that tangent. Anyway, monthly review. We got 4 steps in the monthly review, okay? The first step in that monthly review is to write a list of what you got done. Now that's different, isn't it? Right? We always write a list of what we got to do, right? We look at this list with anxiety sometimes because the list is long. We look at it and we're like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I did nothing this month. But let's flip the script. If you take a moment to look back at your month and see what you got done, It makes you think a little differently. Like, oh, wait a minute. I got a good amount of stuff done. Maybe I'll be able to get the rest of my to-do list done this week, this month, this next month to come, right? When you're able to flip the script, just like we look at the good things that happened the week ahead, this moment you're looking at what you did this month so that you can be like, oh, okay, I got some stuff done. There's still some other things on this other list. We're not worried about this list right now. We're worried about what we got done, right? And you're going to notice that when you take a moment to look at what you've gotten done, it's going to give you strength and it's going to give you ability to believe that you can do what you need to get done. Right? You're going to be able to say, you know what? I was able to write those devotionals last month, last week. I was able to work out consistently. I was able to, I don't know, go to bed on time consistently. So that means that this next month coming, oh, I can definitely write some more. This month coming, oh, I definitely can eat better. You know what I mean? So really take a moment to write a list of the things that you got done. Look at your calendar. Look at pictures that you took. Look at any projects that maybe you've gotten done or progress of projects that you've gotten done at work and write that list down. There's something about writing it too. There's something about writing it down as well. So I really encourage you to do that. The second step is to read through your goals. And if you have a life plan, read through that as well. A life plan, or I like to call them my own, I call my dream activation plan, is a way of looking at those 6 key relationships that I'm always talking about: God, your body, your mind, family, friends, and finances. And seeing where you are, where you want to go, and what you're doing about it, right? And it's good to look at that and to remind yourself of what you thought was important, right? Remind yourself of the things that you needed to get done this past month according to your life plan, right? And being able to review that, it gets you excited again. It gets you ready because you're like, oh yeah, I did want to do that in my finances. Oh yeah, I did want to save all that money. Oh yeah, that's right, I did want to hang out with my friends more, right? So, taking a moment to review that keeps you grounded and keeps you focused on the right road in your intentional life journey. And that's the second one. The third one is to review progress on any active goals. So if you've been rolling with me, you know that we have goals that we focus on for a short period of time. We get them done and then we go to the next ones, right? We do this quarterly and we do a little something called the reset. The reset's coming, by the way. Um and when we do these types of things, we take a moment to look at our specific goals that are active right now and see our progress on them. So, for instance, a couple of goals that I had were to write 2 devotionals a week. I ain't gonna lie, I was looking at it and I was like, dang, I didn't do that as often as I should have. But I did it a lot though. And now I know I need to adjust. Maybe this next month to hit my goal, I'm gonna need to write 3. Or maybe I realize in my life, particularly now that I'm going to the office, that I may not have the same amount of time. So maybe I need to adjust that, right? Another one is my nutrition goals. And I've been making progress, but not all the progress that I wanted. So I'm going to be making sure that I get back in contact with my nutritionist and we're going to get this thing going, right? So really begin to review the progress of your active goals. Again, this constant review is going to help you grow. It's going to help you stay in the lane, because we talked about that last week, right? That you have carved out for yourself. And then the final thing is to write the next 2 things that you can do to move forward in your goals. What are 2 things that you can do to move forward in your goals, right? For me, it's calling that nutritionist. For me, honestly, right now, it's adjusting to working in the office. What do I need to do to make that work? Okay. And make that work with all of my goals. So I encourage you to take a moment to do all these things, right? Write down a list of what you got done. Review your goals, all of them. What do you want to do for this year? Review your life plan, your dream activation plan if you have one. If you want to build one, holler at me. I love to help people do that. But yeah, take a moment to just review your life plan. You don't have to make any changes. It's now just time to kind of write a little bit, see what you want to do. Then the next thing is to review your active goals, right? What's happening with your goals right now? And then finally, write the next two things that you can do to move forward in your goals. All right, y'all. Well, that was this week's podcast. Now, listen, I'm going to be in here adjusting to working in the office. We're going to see if I'm live next week. We're going to find out if I get to work on time, y'all. Oh my gosh. But as usual, we're going to end with prayer, and we're going to end it with a awesome Dreamboost prayer that we do every single week. Let's go. Lord, help us to review our lives rightly. Show us the places where we won so that we can have confidence to keep going. And remind us of our why, our desires, and our goals so that we can keep moving forward towards the dreams you placed there. All right, y'all. Have an awesome, amazing, amazing week. I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.